All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Boulder Collegians baseball here on Monday afternoon at Denver Christian High School for a two-game doubleheader between the Boulder Collegians and the Denver Generals in the Mile High Collegiate Baseball League. Collegians coming into this one in first place in the Mile High Collegiate Baseball League, 18-4-1 after a two-game sweep over the Colorado Lumberjacks, as the leadoff man Hunter Hirayama lines one into center for a base hit. He has been red hot lately and able to continue that. So the Collegians with a leadoff runner. Generals coming in 7-8 in the middle of the pack in the MHCBL, and looking to get above 500 today against your Collegians. Matt Graff, Collegians swinging early, grounds one over to second. And the throw over to first skips through the first baseman, Jack Hogan. So Hirayama retired at second. But Graff into first on the fielder's choice. So one out now as the three-hole man, Luke Pemberton, steps in. Also, apologies to everybody. We were unable to live stream today due to internet troubles here at Denver Christian High School, but we will still be uploading these games to YouTube, where you will be watching them. Luke Pemberton takes strike one from the pitcher for the Denver Generals today, Michael Thorne, the left-hander, number 17. As Pemberton fouls off strike two. Thorne, making his third appearance of the year, second start, has gone 7 innings and only given up 1 run for the Generals, so has been solid on the bump so far this year. Thorne throws over to first, and no trouble for Graff getting back in. So he'll head home with the 0-2. No, he will go back to first, and Graff safe once again. Especially with the lefty on the mound. Generals being very cognizant of the Collegians' running game. Graff does not go here. Pemberton takes ball one. Good eye from the right fielder there. Pemberton hitting .222 on the year. Didn't have a great day at the plate versus the Lumberjacks on Saturday, but did drive in two, but he grounds that one down the third base line into the corner for extra bases. Graff's going to round third. He is heading home. Pemberton digging for 3, and he's in there. Luke Pemberton with an RBI triple to open this one up here in the top of the first, and your Collegians are on the board 1-0. So Cole Lucky, the cleanup man, is the next one in. He sends that one out to right, and it is going to be caught by the right fielder, Charlie Hilgers. Pemberton tags. He comes across the score, so it is a sac fly for Cole Lucky. And the Collegians now lead 2-0. So nobody on and 2 outs now for Jackson Bryant, the third baseman, who takes the first pitch. That's into center and down for a base hit. Collegians' bats are live early. They are swinging early in counts, and they are getting on. 3 hits already for the Collegians. That'll bring in the DH Braden Thompson. Thorne will go check on Brian over at first. Thorne working very quickly. Not off to a stellar start, but still a chance to get out of it without too much damage. Generals only in a 2-0 hold right now as Thompson swings through the first pitch for strike one. Thompson takes that one, lines it hard, but foul down the third base line, just a bit out in front of it. Thompson fouls off another one, so 2 strikes still. On DH, Braden Thompson. Thompson with a good day against the Lumberjacks. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. Bryant goes here, but Thompson fouls another one back. And the count is still 0-2 now to Braden Thompson. Thompson takes this one, sends it out to left field. Left fielder moving back, and he's out of room. It's gone. And it's a 2-run home run for Braden Thompson to give the Collegians an early 4-0 lead. Second home run of the season for Braden Thompson. RBIs number 16 and 17. And the Collegians are on fire here down in Denver. Catcher Sergio Solis is the next man in for Boulder. He takes ball 1. We're going to keep this excellent top half of the first going for Boulder. Nobody on. And the count 1-1 now to the Collegians catcher. Drove in 2 versus the Lumberjacks. And having a good year at the plate, hitting .368. And he takes ball 2 from Michael Thorne. Thorne with the 2-1 now. That one's inside, so at least backs off 3-1. Three-one pitch. That one does find the zone, so Solis does not offer, and the count is now full to Sergio Solis. Sirius, California native, playing ball at Cal State Monterey Bay. And ready for the full count pitch. He swings and he misses. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Michael Thorne to get out of this top half of the first, but not before your Collegians score 4 runs. And they are out in front. We will see him in the field next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Bottom half of the first. Collegians out in front early, 4-0 over the Denver Generals. And we will see them in the field for the first time here. Leadoff man for the Generals is the third baseman, Andrew Brady. And he will be facing the Boulder Collegian starter, Spy Turnbow, the big right-hander out of Parker, Colorado, by way of Colorado Mesa University. Turnbow 6'8" and has been excellent so far in his 4 prior appearances. As Brady fouls that one back. Turnbow making his 3rd start. And has been one of the Collegians' top arms. Had 9 strikeouts and 4 shutout innings against the Pueblo Collegians back on June 27th. Already with some run support here, looking to keep the Collegians in front. Brady swings and foul tips that one. 2 strikes to the Generals' third baseman. Brady having a pretty good year at the top of this Generals lineup, hitting just a tick over 300. And a threat on the bases with 4 swipes so far this year. 2-strike pitch from Turnbow, just misses down low. Good spot. And a good eye from Brady to lay off of it. Count is full now. Here's the 3-2. That one is down in the dirt. And Brady lays off. He'll get the free pass down to first. So leadoff man on for the Generals. That'll bring up Chin Wei-Yu, the shortstop. Wei-Yu hitting .316. Generals with a couple of hitters at the top of this lineup up in the 300s. So a dangerous stretch of hitters here to start it off for Spy Turnbow. First pitch from Turnbow, good spot, and strike called. 0-1. Turnbow will go over to first now, checks on Brady, who dives back in. As I mentioned, 4 steals for Brady, so Turnbow just trying to keep him in check over there. Here comes the 0-1, fouled off by Wei-Yu, 0-2 now. Good start to this AB for the Collegians' right-hander. Next pitch from Turnbow upstairs, ball 1. Wei-Yu doesn't bite on the high fastball. Here is the 1-2 now, and Wei-Yu swings and misses at 1 down in the dirt. Way out in front of the off-speed pitch, and the Collegians with their first out here in the bottom of the first. And a good start for the strikeout machine, Spy Turnbow, as Heath Perry, the center fielder, will step in now. Runner goes on the first pitch. Strike called. Throw down is in time to get him. Great throw by Sergio Solis down to second to get Andrew Brady stealing. And there's 2 down now in the first. Oh, 1 from Turnbow upstairs. Count even 1-1 to Perry. who's hitting just above 300 at 308 as he swings and misses at one down low for strike two. Next pitch from Turnbow. That one's up high, misses, and Heath Perry's back even now, 2-2. Brady chops that one off the plate, foul. Just dribbles into fair territory, but the ump calls it. So still 2 strikes on Heath Perry. Next one from Turnbow, fouled off. Perry staying alive. Good AB for the 3-hole hitter. Next pitch from Turnbow, fouled off again. Perry chased that one down in the dirt, but just got the end of the bat on it. And he'll step in for another 2-2 pitch. There he goes. Checks the swing. Ump says no, so ball 3. Very close call there. Perry started to go around, but able to check the swing successfully, and the count is full. Here's the payoff pitch from Turnbow. That one swung on and missed. Fastball upstairs for the second strikeout for Spy Turnbow. And the Collegians, after one, still leading 4-0. That one's in there for a strike 2 to Hirayama. Runner goes from first. Himrick is thrown out. Great throw by Joe Reitz. And a very close play down at first, but Hank Himrick is tagged out for out number 2 here in the top half of the second. Two-strike pitch is grounded over to short, fielded by Chin Wei-Yu, and the throw's over the head of the first baseman, Hogan. So Hirayama's in safely on the E6. So Collegians still leading 4-0 with 2 down here. Runners over at first in the form of Hunter Hirayama as the first baseman Matt Graff steps in. Graff takes ball 1 down and away from Thorne. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run back in the first, did Graff. as he takes ball 2. Excellent day for Graff against the Lumberjacks on Saturday. 2 for 4, but reached base 6 times and stole 3 bases. And looking to extend this top half of the second here. Takes that one over to short. Wayu Fields. He will go to first again, and this one's on the money for out number 3. So the leadoff walk allowed by Thorne, but a much smoother top half of the second. Collegians still leading 4-0, middle of 2. All right, welcome back, everyone. Bottom half of the second, as the cleanup man, Jack Hogan, will lead it off. He swings at strike 1 for the Generals. Hogan leading the Generals in batting average this year, .333, but quickly behind here to the big righty Spy Turnbow, 0-2. .02 from Turnbow, way down low. Nice block by Solis. And ball 1 to the Generals' first baseman, Jack Hogan. Hogan takes that one over to third, fielded cleanly by Bryant, who throws over to first for out number 1. So smooth sailing for Spy Turnbow thus far. And there's one out here in the bottom of the second with George Hogan, the second baseman, coming up. First pitch to George Hogan is fouled back, strike 1. As the sun starts to peek back out here at Denver Christian. Next pitch fouled off, so just like Jack, George Hogan is behind 0-2. Next pitch from Turnbow, that one's down low, 1-2. He skipped a couple of balls in there, but has been mostly solid. 1-2 now. That one's in there. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 3 for Spy Turnbow, and quickly now 2 outs in the second. Right fielder Charlie Hilger's in for his first appearance now. 2 out and nobody on. And he takes ball 1 outside from Turnbow. That one does just catch the corner on the outside part of the plate. Strike called. And Turnbow's back even 1-1. Hilger swings through that one as Turnbow picks up the pace a little bit. And he's 1 strike away from a very quick second inning. Hilgers takes that one and rips it out into right field, down into the corner for a base hit. Nicely cut off by Pemberton, so Hilgers will stop at first, but he's on with the Generals' first hit of the ball game, a 2-out single. Left fielder Alex Ainsworth is next, hitting .211 so far this year and looking to get a rally going now with the runner on. Oh, 1 to Ainsworth. Swung on and missed. 0-2 now. So Turnbow gives up the 2-out hit, but right back to work. And home now with the 0-2. That one is outside, down at Solis' feet, but he keeps it in front of him. And Hilger's forced to stay at first. That one is chopped softly over to third, and Bryant will have no play. So an infield hit for Alex Ainsworth, the second consecutive. And the Generals starting to get something going here with 2 outs. Next up is the catcher Joe Reitz, the lefty. First pitch from Turnbow. That one's in there, strike 1. Turnbow doing a good job getting ahead in counts, throwing first pitch strikes. Not giving up a ton of free ones right now, as that one's fouled off by Reitz on a checked swing. So now the Generals catcher down 0-2. 0-2 from Turnbow. That one is just fouled off the end of the bat. It'll get out of play. So the count remains 0-2 now. That one's outside from Turnbow, so 1-2. Tried to get Reitz to chase there. But good job by the catcher to lay off. Here's the 1-2 now. That one's up and away too. So it is 2-2. Reitz sends that one out into center, but routine for Cole Lucky barely has to move, and he's under it for out number 3. So a couple of 2-out hits for the Generals, but they cannot convert, and they still trail your Boulder Collegians 4-0 after 2. All right, time for the Collegians half of the third now. Heart of the order coming up for Boulder, 3, 4, and 5. And the right fielder, Luke Pemberton, to start us off. Got the scoring started in this one back in the first with an RBI triple. And it's his second time facing Michael Thorne today as he takes ball 1 low. Next pitch to Pemberton. That one's sent out into center. Perry moving back, and he's under it out, number 1. Ball started to carry a little bit off the bat of Pemberton, but no trouble for Perry. And that'll bring in Cole Lucky. "4-0 Collegians still after a scoreless second on both sides. Lucky takes ball 1. So still in the lead off the back of that big first. Next pitch outside to Lucky, so the cleanup man can look for one he likes now ahead 2-0. Lucky had a 2-run homer in the last game on Saturday against the Lumberjacks as he swings through strike 1. Wind is blowing out just a bit. So a chance for these big hitters in this Collegians lineup to do something big, as we saw with Braden Thompson back in the first. Next pitch to Lucky. That one's down and away, and the count's full now, 3-2 to the Boulder center fielder. Three-two pitch. Lucky fouls that one off. And he stays alive. Count full. 3-2 pitch here with 1 out. Lucky takes that one, and it's through for a base hit in the left. Wayu couldn't quite get there, and Cole Lucky is in with his first hit of the ball game. Jackson Bryant is the next man in for Boulder. Looking to extend this 4-0 lead with the runner on and 1 out, but he takes the first pitch and sends it out into center. Carries all the way back to Perry, who doesn't take a step and makes the catch, out number 2. So 1 on and 2 outs for Braden Thompson, the DH. Thompson, as I mentioned before, with the big 2-run homer out into left center in the first. Runner goes on the first pitch, ball high, and Lucky's in there safely, and it's through into center. Lucky's going to head for third. He is going to get there. So a stolen base for Cole Lucky, and then advances over to third on the error. And the runner is in scoring position here with 2 down. 1-0 to the designated hitter, Thompson. And he swings through strike 1. Good pitch there from Thorne with the off speed. Next pitch, that one's grounded hard. Cut off by the third baseman, Brady, and the throw to first is in time, so Lucky reaches on the hit, but cannot get across to score, and the Collegians will come out to field in the third with a 4-0 lead. All right, welcome back, everyone. Bottom half of the third, 9-1 and 2 coming up for the Generals. Starting off with the first AB of the day for Max Crosby, the designated hitter. Crosby yet to record a hit this year, but has been patient at the plate, walking 5 times. But Spy Turnbow quickly ahead 0-2 here. And 0-2 is just outside. Good eye by Crosby. And ball 1, says the ump. That one swung on, foul tip, but handled by Solis for the strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Spy Turnbow in his first time through the order. And with 1 out here in the third, the lineup will flip over for the Generals, and Andrew Brady will step in for the second time. Turnbow wasting no time to start off Brady with strike 1. Generals' third baseman walked, but was caught stealing back in the first. That one just a bit high from Turnbow, so it's 1-1. That one for Brady just fouled off. And Turnbow ahead in yet another count. Here's the 1-2. Brady checks the swing but fouls it off. Maybe a little lucky to get the bat on that one, but a productive swing nonetheless, as he will step in to see another pitch. Another 1-2 swung on and missed. Brady way behind that one, and it's strikeout number 5 for Spy Turnbow, as there's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the third. Turnbow absolutely rolling through this Generals lineup right now. As the shortstop Chin-Wei Yu steps in, he fouls off the first pitch for a strike. Wei Yu takes the next pitch, sends it out into center, down for a base hit. Great job there from Wei Yu, taking it right back up the middle on a line. And he's on with his first hit of the ball game, so 2 outs. And just like the last inning, the Generals trying to start a 2-out rally here with the runner on first, as the 3-hole man Heath Perry steps in. That one hits Perry, so Turnbow all of a sudden in a little trouble here in the third, as that one just grazes Perry on the shoulder. He is on the hit by pitch. And there's a runner in scoring position. 2 on now for the cleanup man, Jack Hogan. Hogan grounded out to third in the last inning. He swings through strike 1. And Hogan behind now as he swings and misses at another off-speed pitch from Turnbow. And once again, Spy Turnbow ahead in the count with 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. That one just a bit outside, so Elise tries to frame but doesn't get the call, and it's 1-2. 1-2 swung on and missed by Hogan, and it is strikeout number 6 for Spy Turnbow. And despite the 2-out runners once again, Generals cannot capitalize, and after 3 full, it is your Collegians 4, the Denver Generals 0. All right, top half of the fourth, Sergio Solis starting it off for the Collegians. Bottom of the order coming up for Boulder, 7, 8, and 9. Solis struck out in the first, and getting his second crack at Michael Thorne here, who is out for his fourth inning of work. He starts Solis off with a strike on a good spot down and in. Solis swings and misses at that one down low. Thorne really done a nice job settling in after the big first inning for Boulder. Have not had much doing in the last two frames. Couple of base runners, but nothing across as Thorne steps off to regroup here before the 0-2 to Solis. Thorne shakes off Reitz behind the plate. Now gets to one he likes for the 0-2. That one is just outside, and it is 1-2. Good take by Solis. Solis takes that one. A high chopper, Wayu moving in on it. Throws on the run, and it is on target for the out. Nice play by Chin Wayu out at short. And Solis is retired for the second time today. One out here in the fourth. Hank Hemrick is the next man in for Boulder. Walked back in the second. Hemrick stole home on Saturday in Game 2 against the Lumberjacks. Also reached 4 times in 6 plate appearances during the doubleheader. Breaking ball to Hemrick. That one's in there for a strike, so Thorne out ahead here. Good start to the AB for the lefty in this left-on-left matchup. Next pitch from Thorne. That one's fouled off the plate. So Hemrick just gets the end of the bat on it and stays alive. No balls and 2 strikes to Hank Hemrick. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Good pitch by Michael Thorne. Gets Hemrick way behind the fastball. And he's retired for out number 2 as Gavin Acosta steps in. Thorne's thrown a great last couple of innings here, as the Collegians' bats have cooled off significantly from the opening frame. First pitch to Acosta squares around a bunt, but pulls it back as the first pitch from Thorne comes in well in front of the plate for ball 1. Next pitch from Thorne. That one's grounded hard over to second, fielded by George Hogan, and he throws over to Jack Hogan for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Thorne, and he has started to relax a little bit as the Collegians' lead remains 4-0 in the middle of the fourth. All right, time for the bottom of the fourth now. This game moving along very quickly, just 45 minutes in. And fresh off the putout to end the Collegians half of the inning, George Hogan is in to lead it off for the Denver Generals. Struck out looking back in the second, so 0 for 1 on the day for Hogan. But he is ahead here, 0-2 to Spy Turnbow. Turnbow gets back in and finds the zone there. Hogan does not offer, and it's 2-1. Turnbow working very quickly, not wasting any time. That one's grounded to second, fielded by Acosta. And the routine play over to first gets Hogan for out number 1. One out now with the lefty Charlie Hilgers set to come up for the Generals. Singled back in the second. Picked up the Generals' first hit of this one. 3 hits total for Denver so far, as the first pitch misses to Hilgers. So the right fielder's ahead, 1-0. Next one is sent out to right, carrying a little bit, or left, pardon me. And Hank Hemrick's under it after taking a couple steps back. So quickly 2 outs now, and Turnbow continues to cruise along. So 2 down for Alex Ainsworth, who hit an infield single back in the second. Behind 0-1 as he takes a big cut at a fastball from Turnbow, but misses strike 1. Next pitch, that one's grounded over to third. Bryant dives, but can't get in front of it, and it's the second hit of the ballgame for Alex Ainsworth. Great start for the left fielder, and once again with 2 outs, the Generals get some base traffic on Turnbow here, as the catcher Joe Reitz gets set to come up. First pitch now to Reitz from Turnbow. That one is lined hard at first, but Matt Graff sticks the glove out and makes the snag. Excellent play in the field by Graff, showing off the reflexes. So the Generals strand 1 after the 2-out hit by Ainsworth, but through 4 full, the Collegians are still in front 4-0. All right, welcome back. Top of the lineup for Boulder here in the 5th. Still looking to extend that 4-0 lead that they built all the way back in the first, but the lefty Michael Thorne has thrown very well since then to keep them off the scoreboard. Hunter Hirayama in to lead it off. Thorne misses down low with ball 1. Hirayama 1 for 2 with the single, also reached on an error back in the second. 2-0 to Hirayama. That one finds the zone, and it's 2-1. Good breaking ball from Thorne to get back in this count. Great year for Hirayama so far, hitting .391, couple of home runs. As he grounds that one over to second. Backhand stopped by George Hogan. The throw is high. And Jack Hogan jumps but gets back down in time to get Hirayama for out number 1. Nifty play over at first by the very tall first baseman Jack Hogan. And Hirayama is retired for the first out. Matt Graff, the first baseman for the Collegians, had that great snag on the liner to end the bottom half of the fourth. Now takes strike 1 here with nobody on and 1 out here in the Collegians' half of the fifth. 0-1, that one's sent out to center. Perry a couple steps in, and he's under it. So 2 quick outs, and Michael Thorne starting to get on a roll now on the bump. 2 quick outs here in the fifth, and Luke Pemberton is up next. Pemberton 1 for 2 with that RBI triple, but flew out to center his last time up. First pitch down low and in the dirt from Thorne. Next one, Pemberton does take a swing at that one, also down in the dirt, but couldn't resist, and it's 1-1. Good pitch from Thorne to get Pemberton fishing. 1-1 now, fastball, and it just misses. Good spot from Thorne on the fastball. Just didn't quite find the zone, and he's behind 2-1 now. Pemberton takes that one and rips it over to short, but stopped by Wei Yu. Throw to first in time, and a nice play over at short. So a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Michael Thorne. He's doing his part to keep this lead right where it's at. We will see when we come back if the Generals can cut into the 4-0 deficit. All right, 9-1-2 due up for the Generals, and Max Crosby will start it off with his second AB of the night. Fifth inning of work for Spy Turnbow, who has been excellent so far. 4 shutout innings, just 4 hits allowed. And then make it 5 as Crosby takes one right back at him and into center for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there from Max Crosby. And a leadoff base runner for the Generals now as they look to cut into this deficit. Third baseman Andrew Brady in now. With an opportunity to start something here with Crosby already on. He takes strike 1 from Spy Turnbow. Turnbow working out of the stretch now. And quickly ahead 0-2 as Brady decides not to offer at either of the first 2 pitches. Turnbow still wasting no time. Comes home with the 0-2. That one is low and away. Brady starts the swing, but checks it in plenty of time. That's 1-2. One, two, down low again from Turnbow. 2-2. Good eye from Brady. Seen a couple of Generals offer at some of those off-speed pitches down low, but Brady, good discipline there at the plate. And he'll see a 2-2 pitch now. That one's upstairs from Turnbow, so from 0-2 ahead. Brady doing a nice job to work the count full. Here's the 3-2 from Turnbow. That one swung on and fouled off. Good AB here from Andrew Brady. There is some action in the Collegians bullpen in case this inning starts to get away from Spy Turnbow. That one's grounded back up the middle, fielded by Hirayama on the slide. Flipped to second for one, over to first. 4-2. Nice job by the Collegians infield. They turn the 6-4-3 double play. And now the bases are empty with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Chin-Wei Yu is the next man in here with 2 outs for the Generals. He takes ball 1. Wei Yu 1 for 2 with the single against Turnbow so far today. Next pitch from Turnbow. That one's hammered out into left center. And it's gone! A home run for Chin-Wei Yu! So the Generals are on the board on the big fly from the Generals shortstop. He got all of that one into one of the deepest parts of the park, and the Collegians lead is cut now to 4-1. Heath Perry, the center fielder, is next. He takes the first pitch and pops it up, drifting towards the Boulder dugout and just gets out of play. So strike 1 to Perry. 0 for 1 today, was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd. And Turnbow ahead 0-1. Next pitch swung on and missed. Good pitch there. And Perry now quickly behind 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That one swung on and sent out softly into right. Luke Pemberton underneath it for out number 3. So a good bounce back from Spy Turnbow. Generals get on the board on the big fly from Chin-Wei Yu. And the Collegians lead through 5 full has been cut to 4-1. All right, time now for the top of the 6th. Collegians holding on to a 3-run lead here in a well-played ball game so far from both sides against the Denver Generals. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Collegians here in the 6th. Cole Lucky, the center fielder, leads it off. He is 1 for 1, singled, and has driven in a run on a sac fly as he swings through that breaking ball down low. Michael Thorne still cruising along after the rough first inning, but now into the 6th and pitching great. Next pitch, that one's down low to Lucky. And it is 2-1 now to the Collegian center fielder. Lucky hitting just a tick under 400 on the season. Has really been seeing the ball well as he takes ball 3 down in the dirt. Lucky also doesn't give anything away at the plate, reaching base more than half of his time's up as he swings through that one. I may have jinxed Lucky there as he swung through ball 4. But the count's full now to the Boulder center fielder. Pitch from Thorne. Breaking ball. That's in there. Strike 3 called. Excellent pitch from Michael Thorne. Lucky can't believe it. But a ton of movement on the breaking ball from Michael Thorne gets Lucky looking for out number 1. Third baseman Jackson Bryant's next with 1 out. And he takes the first pitch, grounds it right back to Thorne, who falls down and makes the stop, throws over to first for the out. How about Michael Thorne? This last 45 minutes or so has been awesome on the mound, and there's 2 down quickly here in the 6th. Four straight shutout innings for Thorne, and now flash in the leather as he starts Braden Thompson off with the strike. That's fouled back. Thompson homered off Thorne back in the first. Next pitch, that's in there, and Thompson's behind 0-2. And Michael Thorne cruising along. Next pitch, Thompson takes that one over to third, fielded by Brady. Routine throw over to first, and another 1-2-3 inning. That's 9 retired in a row for Michael Thorne. And the Collegians, through 5.5, still holding on to that 4-1 lead. All right, welcome back, everyone. Bottom of the 6th, your Collegians hanging on to a 4-1 lead. Spy Turnbow has exited after 5 full innings. Just gave up the home run to Chinwei Yu in the last, but that is all the damage for the day for Turnbow, in line for the win as he leaves. New pitcher for the Collegians is number 14, Carter Swan, the Castle Rock native. Has been a very reliable arm for the Collegians out of the pen this year. 10 innings thus far, and only given up 3 runs, struck out an astounding 18 batters. And he shows why as he starts off the cleanup man, Jack Hogan, with a couple of fastballs. And it's 0-2 in a blink. Strike 3. Hogan way behind the fastball upstairs from Swan, so a 3-pitch strikeout. And that is out number 1 here in the 6th. George Hogan's the next man in. He struck out looking and grounded out to second in his 2 plate appearances today. And he fouls off the first pitch from Swan. It'll be interesting to see how this Generals lineup adjusts to the slower throwing Spy Turnbow, who keeps the velocity down with more movement, but now Carter Swan sitting in the low 90s with the fastball. Hogan way behind that foul ball to start off this count, and here's Swan with the 0-1. That one's outside, and it's 1-1. Next pitch from Swan, fouled off again. Hogan still hasn't quite timed it up. Just a tad late on that one, and it's 1-2. That one's inside from Swan. Went to the off speed there, but the slider didn't quite sneak back into the zone. It's 1-2. 2-2. Pardon me. Next pitch, fastball from Swan, and Hogan does a really nice job to get a bat on it. He fouls it off and lives to see another pitch. Generals down to their final 5 outs here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Two from Swan once again. Breaking ball this time. Hogan a little out in front of it. Nice stop on the short hop by Graff over at first. He does it himself. Steps on the bag, and that's out number 2. So a good start on the mound for Carter Swan as Charlie Hilgers, the right fielder, steps in. 1 for 2 with a single so far today. And he rips the first one down the first base line into the corner for a base hit. Hilgers heading for 2. And Hilgers heading for 3 now as the relay comes in. Not cut off, and Hilgers dives into third with a 2-out triple. Nice day for Charlie Hilgers, couple of hits. And the Generals with a chance to cut into this Collegians lead even more now. So 2 outs, and Alex Ainsworth steps in with an RBI chance. Base hit will cut the lead to 4-2. Ainsworth has 2 of them already today. And he takes ball 1 from Swan. Ainsworth had a couple of singles off Turnbow. First time facing the new arm. Carter Swan ahead 1-0. And now even as he swings late behind a fastball. Another fastball from Swan. That one is right over the plate. Ainsworth looks at it. And Swan 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, 1-2. And the breaking ball gets Ainsworth chasing down low for strike 3. A couple of strikeouts for Carter Swan. Gives up the 2-out triple, but a solid inning nonetheless. Collegians through 6 full, leading 4-1. All right, Collegians half of the 7th. Bottom of the order coming up for the Collegians. Trying to get some more insurance on that 4-1 lead. Sergio Solis, the catcher, will lead it off for Boulder. Currently 0 for 2. And he takes strike 1 from Michael Thorne. Back out for a 7th inning of work. Collegians have not had a base runner since all the way back in the 3rd. Thorne has been absolutely cruising. And Solis even 1-1. Solis way out in front of the breaking ball down in the dirt from Thorne. Great pitch. And he has this Boulder lineup fooled right now. Solis behind 1-2. Two-strike pitch now from Michael Thorne. That one is grounded over to second, fielded by George Hogan. Throw on to first. That's out number 1. So an 0 for 3 day for Sergio Solis. Hank Hemrick is the next man in. Currently 0 for 1, reached on a walk. First pitch to Hemrick outside, and that is ball 1 from Thorne. Hemrick leading the Collegians in homers this year with 3. And good lead there as he takes ball 2. Here's the 2-0 now from Thorne. Hemrick does foul tip that one on the check swing. And it's 2-1. Two one now from Michael Thorne. That one backs Hemrick off down at the feet. And Thorne behind 3-1. Collegians have not been ahead in a ton of counts recently. Hemrick can wait for one he likes here. And that one is a called strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Hemrick thought he was headed down to first, but will now have to step in for a full count pitch. Here's the 3-2. That one is ripped hard, but foul down the first base line. Himrick a little amped up there, just out in front of that one. Hit it hard, but couldn't quite keep it in play, and he'll see another 3-2. Here's Thorne with another 3-2. That one's in there. Strike 3 called. And Hank Himrick's down on strikes for the second time in this game. And Michael Thorne is still rolling. Comes back from 3-1 down, and there's 2 outs. Second baseman Gavin Acosta steps in now. He is 0 for 2. And the first pitch to Acosta's in there for a strike, so the Collegians second baseman behind early. Next pitch, that one's grounded softly, but just dribbles foul. And Acosta's now behind 0-2. All right, 0-2 to Gavin Acosta. Here is the next pitch. Strike 3 called again. So how about Michael Thorne with a couple of strikeouts and another 1-2-3 inning. He has done his job, and the Generals will have a chance to tie it or win it as they come up in the bottom of the 7th, trailing 4-1. All right, bottom of the 7th for the Collegians. Carter Swan back in looking for a 6-out save as the Collegians are still in front 4-1. Swan starts off the leadoff man, Joe Reitz, the catcher, with strike 1. Excellent job by the Generals, Michael Thorne on the mound. Collegians got 4 in the first on him, but nothing since, as he has kept the deficit right where it is. Now let's see if the Generals can back him up and get back in this one. Count 0-2 to the catcher Reitz, 0 for 2 so far today. And Swan misses with the fastball upstairs. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Swan. That one way outside. Tried to get the breaking ball in there. Just lost control of it. And Reitz is back even now, 2 apiece. Here's the 2-2 from Swan. That one swung on and just fouled off. So Reitz stays alive. Good AB to start off this bottom half of the 7th. Generals need 3 to tie or 4 to win here in game 1 of this doubleheader. 2-2 from Swan upstairs. Good take by Reitz. That was a close pitch, but it's 3-2. And I would expect a fastball here coming from Carter Swan. Here's the 3-2. It is a fastball, but he misses outside. So from 0-2 ahead, Joe Reitz draws the leadoff walk. And a good start to this bottom half of the 7th for the Denver Generals as Max Crosby, the DH, steps in. Crosby singled his last time up off of Spy Turnbow, has yet to face Swan. And the first pitch from Swan upstairs, so 1-0 to Max Crosby. Next pitch from Swan, that one's inside. And it is 2-0 now. It looks like Gabriel Lopez up in the Collegians' pen should this inning start to get out of hand. As the shortstop Hunter Hirayama in to have a word with Swan before this 2-0. That's inside as well, so Crosby, a good AB, takes a close pitch there, and it's 3-0. Top of the order coming up for the Generals next. Next pitch, that is a strike called. Crosby had already thrown the bat and was headed down to first. But it's 3-1 as Swan finds the zone. That's strike 3 called again. Crosby flipped the bat again. That's twice now that Max Crosby is headed down to first base. And now the count's full. He's got to step back in. Good job by Carter Swan to hit good spots with the fastball to get back in this count. So nobody out. Runner is on first. Here is the 3-2 pitch from Carter Swan. Fastball swung on and missed by Crosby. He struck him out. A huge out, number 1 from 3-0 down. And that's got to boost the confidence for Carter Swan as the lineup flips over and Andrew Brady steps in for his 4th AB of the day. First pitch to Brady. That is in there for strike 1. Brady 0 for 2 with a walk here in this one. Did ground into a double play his last time up. Another ground ball would presumably end this one as Swan will check on Reitz over at first. Next pitch to Brady swung on and missed, and Andrew Brady's behind 0-2. Swan checks over at first, but we'll come home with the 0-2. That one is just outside. Good eye from Brady, and it's 1-2. Swan's got a couple pitches to play with here if he wants. Likes that slider to change it up. But he comes home with the fastball, and Brady's way behind it for strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Carter Swan, and number 2 for Andrew Brady, as the Generals are now down to their final out. Chin-Wei Yu, the shortstop, is the man responsible for keeping this one alive for the Denver Generals after the big solo shot that he hit back in the 5th. 2 for 3 overall for Wei Yu, and down 0-1 here after the big fastball from Swan. 0-1, that one's down and away. And the count's even now to the General shortstop. Swing and a miss on that big fastball, and the Generals down to their last strike now as Chin-Wei Yu's behind 1-2. So a shaky start to this 7th for Carter Swan, but has settled in nicely and just needs one more big fastball to get it across the finish line. Fastball, strike 3 called, and that is the ball game. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings for Carter Swan. And your Boulder Collegians pick up the win here in Game 1 against the Denver Generals, 4-1. Spy Turnbow gets the win. Michael Thorne gets the loss despite throwing a brilliant complete game after the 4-run first inning. And Carter Swan steps in to get the 6-out save. Collegians up to 19-4-1 on the season. Generals drop to 7-9. And we'll be back in about 20 to 30 minutes for the first pitch of Game 2. Until then, this has been Boulder Collegians Baseball from down in Denver. My name is Troy Finnegan, and we will see you in a couple minutes for the next game. Thanks, everyone.